Welcome back. You're watching India Today. Let's get you details now of the big headline from Prime Minister Narendra Modi when he spoke at a BJP event today. Addressing BJP workers, Prime Minister Modi, in a sense, seemed to want to settle the entire language debate and put to rest all the criticism that the BJP constantly faces of being a Hindi-following party. Now, what the Prime Minister has said in his address is that every language is unique and every language is important and equal. Very importantly also, Prime Minister Modi, they're saying that the BJP supports all languages. Let's take this across now to Kichcha Sudeep, Kannada superstar, who's joining us on this broadcast. Sudeep, thank you for joining us here on India Today. You know, we've been playing out for the last many years the conversation that you had with some of my colleagues in Kannada Tak, where you had spoken about how, you know, there's a difference between Hindi films and then South Indian films are pan-Indian films, etc. So since then, there's of course been this huge debate over, you know, the Hindi language versus other languages, and that entire discussion with Mr. Ajay Devgn also getting into it. I first want to get your reaction to the Prime Minister's message about saying, you know, all languages are equal, a unifying message there.
Hi, first of all, thank you for having me on board.
Our pleasure.
But may I know, I can't see anybody. Is that okay?
Yes, we can see you, Sudeep. You're on air live right now.
It would be nice if I could see you people to others. I'm just speaking to a blank screen.
We'll try to fix that.
All right. So anyway, should I just wait or should I carry on?
No, please go ahead. You're live right now on India Today TV. So we'd like to know what you have to say about the
so-
Prime Minister's message.
No, a big hello to everyone. No, it's a wonderful thing to be hearing the line from the Prime Minister himself. It's such an honoring line, very well-wishing line for the entire nation and for all people. See, I guess languages are just probably the way we communicate to other ones, but I guess it holds a value. Each language holds its value towards their states, towards their people. I guess, you know, we need to respect and treat everything as one. And I guess today it's wonderful to hear Prime Minister say these lines.
It's something that's perhaps needed also, because you also highlighted, Sudeep, how there's a difference in the industry, and it's perhaps permeated into every single part of our lives as well, where we see a difference in how some languages are treated versus how Hindi is treated. Do you agree with that? Do you think that there is some discrimination on the ground?
I think respect is to be commanded and not demanded. I don't see that other languages have treated anyone badly, or I would never say that.
Okay.
I guess it's only certain personalities maybe, and just because of a couple of people, you just cannot generalize and say that everybody treats everyone badly. So when I said it, it's in the context because when films are coming from the South, they are considered as pan-India because we are going towards Hindi also. But then see, that's when I said that, you know, it is not a national language where you have to consider that as one motherboard or the central focal point and everything is pan. Pan-India is, even if Hindi is doing a Tamil, Telugu, it's a pan-India. Kannada is doing a Hindi, Telugu, Tamil is a pan-India. Everything is a pan-India once you are trying to reach out to every state or every language. From South, whenever we try to do a film, it is not centered around Hindi only. You know, we love Hindi. We have favorite actors there. We have favorite actresses there. We have friends there. So it's got nothing to do with that, zone where we discriminate ourselves or we have found ourselves inferior or complexed. We are all what we are. We are proud of what we are. It's only certain segments that's about it. But, you know, pan-India is for all. It's not just films coming from South to Hindi. That's what I was trying to tell everyone. And I guess the point was received well.
It was, and you know, to revisit all of it that happened, and I'm sure, you know, you also know about the kind of reactions that came in. Many backed you. There were many superstars also from your industry, from Collywood, from Bollywood, who spoke out and said that, yeah, this is the right message.
I'm losing you in between, so I do not know whether I'm hearing the complete line.
Okay, Sudeep, we're going to try to fix that. I hope you can hear me, but I'll keep my questions short, essentially. I want to understand from you, how did you feel when you saw Ajay Devgn calling Hindi our national language?
That's okay. See, I guess I do not want to judge anybody tweeting something. I guess it was sweet of him, first of all, to tweet, and secondly, him trying to tweet in Hindi. I guess it is left up to him what he wants to do. I understood the language, so I kind of, for me, it was okay. And I just wanted to make sure that he understood what I'm trying to respond. And so I just responded in a language that it was so that everybody could understand. That's about it. See, I have like I have met Ajay Devgn sir, and he's actually a gentleman. He's got nothing to do with all these things. But I guess it just went. It was a small conversation between me and him, which is blown out of proportion. But I guess yeah, by the end of the day, it was all well done, received, and ended.
You had also tweeted finally saying that if I had put this message in Kannada, you wouldn't have understood. A lot of people wouldn't have understood.
Repeat the last part of the question. I couldn't hear you.
I was referring to your tweet, Sudeep, where you said that if you had tweeted in Kannada, then Ajay Devgn and maybe many others wouldn't have understood. But my essential question to you is, do you believe that there should be a thrust on regional languages? Okay, we're going to fix that. Sudeep, I'm going to ask you, request you to be patient. We'll try to fix that. In the meanwhile, listen into what the Prime Minister said. We'll fix this line.
भाजपा भारतीय भाषाओं को भारतीयता की आत्मा मानती है और राष्ट्र के बेहतर भविष्य की कड़ी मानती है। इसका जिक्र आज मैं विशेष तौर पर इसलिए करना चाहता हूं क्योंकि बीते कुछ समय से देश में भाषा के आधार पर नए विवाद खड़े करने की कोशिशें की जा रही है। हमें इससे देशवासियों को निरंतर सतर्क करना है। भाजपा भारत की हर भाषा में भारतीय संस्कृति का प्रतिबिंब देखती है। हर भाषा उसे पूजनीय मानती है।
So that is the statement from Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And here on India Today, this was our news break that's resonated now and led to so many reactions coming in, cutting across political circles from the film industry as well. Everyone's been speaking about this language debate. With the Prime Minister speaking out now, there's a clear effort by him to kind of end this debate once and for all. Kichcha Sudeep, the Kannada superstar who had spoken first to us here on India Today and kicked off this entire debate, is also with us. We're just fixing his line, so we'll be getting him shortly with us to discuss more about this. But his message essentially has been that all languages need to be treated equally. He's welcomed what the Prime Minister has said. He said that, what my message was essentially is about the fact that all films, whatever language they are, they're pan-India. They're catering to all audiences, cutting across the language barrier. And that is the message that he's also trying to put out. It's important also to put this in context. All right, Kichcha Sudeep is back with us. Sudeep, I hope you can hear me loud and clear now.
I'm managing. I'll manage. You please continue. I'll manage.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'll just resume where we left off. And my question to you essentially was about your last tweet, where you said that, if I had tweeted in Kannada, not you, neither nobody else would have understood what I've said. Do you think there needs to be a bigger thrust on regional languages, on Kannada, on Tamil, Telugu?
Just repeat the last two lines, please, if you don't mind. I understood my tweet in Kannada. Because don't get me wrong, I'm losing your voice here. That's the only reason.
Sure. Do you think that there needs to be a bigger thrust on regional languages, on Kannada, Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam and all the others?
Should there be what?
A bigger thrust, Sudeep, on regional languages.
No, ma'am. I think we all need to respect each other and not force upon things and not generalize on any opinions. See, I guess, you just can't force anything on anybody here. It's up to you. But what happens is, like, see, the whole thing of pan-India and only South is treated as pan-India was not going down well. And we are all here. We are all cinema goers. And probably because we are from here, the moment it is looked upon, see, geographically, I know South is down there, but even mentally, if you try to, make it look like that, it just doesn't go. It doesn't mean that actors are doing that or any cinema goers are doing that. It's a general opinion I'm talking about. So, Pan-India was supposed to be everywhere. And me tweeting in Kannada, I could have done that in the first place itself. My first response could have been done. But I guess then I'm dealing with my ego and not my conscience. See, I was not dealing with my ego. And Ajay Devgn sir's Hindi tweet didn't hit my ego. And it didn't even provoke me. It was very kind. He did what he had to. And I had to answer him. I have met him and he's been very kind to me. See, it's only that, well, if just imagine if I had tweeted something and there would have been another debate altogether. See, I personally feel for every topic there are alternate opinions and people choose or anybody choose what suits them. Mine was very clear. I was sure that Ajay Devgn sir tweet many people will read and they will understand. But if I tweeted in Kannada, nobody would. So I wanted to make sure that my answers were well received by all, well understood by all, and there was no ego, there was no agenda at all. I just wanted to tweet, and then probably, yeah, that line. Why I added is because yes, I take pride in being a Kannadiga, and I love my language also. But just imagine if I could also tweet and somebody could understand that it is good. Now, but that doesn't mean that I'm saying, everybody should. Everybody has a liberty to learn what they want. And yeah, I just wanted to make sure my tweet was kind of understood by each and everyone what I'm trying to tweet than me tweeting in some language and then it is being interpreted in a different perception altogether.
Sudeep, as far as this entire message that you put out about pan-India versus Hindi films are concerned, where do you think that sentiment really rises from? Because as far as the audiences are concerned, it doesn't look like there's any language barrier anymore. It doesn't matter to them if it's a Kannada film, if it's a Hindi film. If it's a good film, it does well.
It is. I think, see, it's cinema. Cinema belongs to everybody. Entertainment belongs to everybody. But it doesn't necessarily have to be that you have to be a cinema person. Just a viewer, just a person switching on the television and watching the film itself. He's also. It belongs to him also. He has his choice. You can do, and when you subscribe yourself to certain OTT platforms, it doesn't mean that you will stick to only your language, right? You will see every kind of language. Today, we watch every language, and as long as you know that you're getting something worth your money and you're getting entertained, and there's no bias or being prejudiced here. I think it's all the same. Every language. I was telling on the same stage, I was telling long back that, some of the languages in the world decided to go pan-world long back. We are all very late. We are saying pan-India very off late. I think we are all very late. But I'm glad that it is all happening. Many films are reaching pan-India. Everybody's making their presence felt. And it's a beautiful thing to spread entertainment all over. It doesn't need a language.
Do you think, I'm referring to several statements that have been made by stars like Allu Arjun, like Mahesh Babu, who've been so immensely successful. They're saying that they're very satisfied in the industry that they're in and that they feel no need to go to a Hindi film industry to become successful. Do you think there's a perception that Bollywood equals success?
I think success just depends on what you want. It's got nothing to do with any industry at all. Success is what you want. Success is how you define it. See, there were stages. There was a time. I will not deny it. Everybody knows there was a time that when you do a Hindi film, you will reach all over India. You'll reach all over very easily. But it was very difficult for a South Indian film to reach everywhere. It was very difficult. South Indian films have really struggled. They are all fought. Whether it is Telugu, Tamil, Malayalam, along with our Kannada. We have survived a long battle for years together to just survive. We have battled it out. But luckily today, such beautiful platforms coming has made such wonderful room. And we have been able to reach people all across. And, it's such a wonderful thing that when North Indian people from unknown places, they connect to us over online and they tell us, what a wonderful film or however gestures they show. Today it's a different decorum around the entertainment altogether. The approach itself is very new. It's very different. So today, if you're asking, yes, I guess somewhere the battle has mellowed down, and it's an open stadium now. It's no more a battleground. It's an open stadium.
Sudeep, one final question to you. To anyone who refers to Hindi as our national language or says that you have to learn Hindi to progress in life in India.
Repeat the question, please. Repeat the question, please.
To anyone who says Hindi is our national language or says you have to learn Hindi to progress further, what's your message to them?
See, now the best part is your question I didn't even hear. Forget the language. I didn't even hear it. So how do...
Okay, all right. I'll leave it there then. Sudeep, I appreciate you for taking the time out and being so patient despite the audio issues. I understand it's your son's birthday and despite that you joined us. So very happy birthday to him. And thank you for joining us.
I'm sorry I'm bugging you, but there's no volume. Can you repeat the question?
Okay, Sudeep, we're thanking you. We're thanking you for joining us here on India Today. Apologies to our viewers also. There's a bit of an audio problem that we've been facing with him, but the Kannada superstar there being so incredibly patient through that and listening to us, speaking to us here on India Today on the language debate. We'll leave it at that. Thank you again, Sudeep. I hope you can hear me. Thank you for joining us.